Hi guys, Keith Arkenberg Farms. Oh crap, it got dark out here. So I ran out of light, didn't get my video out today, which I'm shooting today, so it'll come out tonight or tomorrow, as you can see. But still trying to kind of work out what I was wanting to talk about this week. And what I think I'm really kind of nailed down on is just kind of talking about how the season's progressing and where everything's at on the farm. So we're going to do a farm tour and also talk about the changes I'm seeing as we go into fall with less sun, which is right there in my face. And we're like 2.5 weeks out from our first frost and about a month and a half from our Persephone date. So things are really going to start changing on the farm. So we're going to go through and talk about that. Now the propagation greenhouse is still kicking. I've got a bunch of starts left over here. These starts go out in 2 weeks. Those ones back there were supposed to go out this week or last week, but we have some little issue with them. I'll turn you around and show you. Now I keep having something coming in and eating these. I don't know if these are grasshoppers or if they're little caterpillars because of the worm poop right down there in the crotch. But what they do is they come through and they actually eat the growing node out of the lettuce plant itself, where if I transplant them, they'll never go anywhere. First time I've had this happen, and I don't find any caterpillars anywhere, which really makes me wonder if the birds are coming in here and taking care of them for me, but they have to get of size before they actually take care of them. The rest are getting a little scraggly, but they'll still go out this week. These ones are still looking very beautiful. They're just waiting to go get planted. We'll be harvesting those in April. Now that's one of the biggest tricks when you're planting out this time of year. You really have to stick to your actual planting dates very strictly. 1 or 2 days could amount to 1 or 2 weeks come another 2 to 3 months from now. And even longer if you push it back when we get even closer to our frost and our Persephone date. Persephone date again is the first day that you receive 10 hours of sunlight. That's when things pretty much stop growing. You will really see it dramatically. We're already seeing things really slow down. Even though it's like 94 degrees out here, we got a fluke little heat wave coming in at basically the 1st of October. So these ones here, planted out mid-September. These will be harvested about December-ish. Everything else we have will get us through until then. It's out in the field. We'll take a look at that. Also have another planting down here, which was planted out the 1st of September. So we've got plenty of lettuce and greens out here to keep working. Bed of radishes behind us. We'll actually harvest those, which it looks like they are getting close. Again, turn you around. And come down here and start looking underneath them. They're sizing up very nicely. Decent amount of weed pressure in here, but I always expect that. This bed here is actually going to be turned over into winter carrots, which will harvest in April, if I remember right. They'll be planted here in 2 weeks, mid-October. You can tell the soil's actually starting to cool off because it's right here. This was cherry tomato greenhouse last year, and all the little baby tomato plants are starting to pop. That means we're starting to see changes in the soil temperature and the rate of things grow. Next is our late season planting. We got cabbage, we've got kale, we've got kalettes, which I'm excited to try. We got Brussels sprouts, which might or might not make it. And then we also have broccoli cleared out the end. See, there's a big size difference and stuff in here. That's because they got eaten by those worms. It really put them back. So I'm not sure if we're going to get anything. Last year I planted broccoli about 3 or 4 weeks later than I did in here. And I actually got my harvest. I think it was January before I got a harvest off it. Still worked great. We're in a cat tunnel. I'll have the end walls on and I'll row cover when it gets too cold. So that's where this is going right now. We just got our onion sets in. That's what we'll go over here. We'll be planting those next week. I'll do a video on that, let everybody know. And then over here is garlic. We'll be planting that as well. Same old landscape fabric, 5 row, 6 in between. Do that every year. Done a video about that in the past if you want to look it up. and we'll head on to the tomatoes. Got tomatoes, 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 and more tomatoes down there. They're still kicking. I might heat it, try to get a little bit more off it. They've really slowed down. Regular tomatoes completely stopped almost. Cherry tomatoes are still kicking. I do have cucumbers now that are just about as tall as me. Got the first harvest off of some of these the other day, so they are starting to kick some fruit. Had a few drop to bacterial wilt, which is very common out here, spread by the cucumber beetle. These are supposedly really resistant. I market more 97s like I do every year, so they'll keep kicking. I got about 12 cucumbers off of a 50-foot row double bed up the string. The eggplants are really starting to kick better now too. Cooler temperatures, they're pollinating much better. So we got some there. I just harvested them. So there ain't very many on the plant right now, but they're still going, but we're seeing a lot less blooms than we should. Same thing with the tomatoes. They just don't like it when it starts cooling down, soil temperatures start cooling off. These first two beds here are completely full of storage radishes. We got black narrow and watermelon radishes. Then we've got 3 types of daikons behind it. I actually planted those in 2 beds that I made into 3. We'll turn around and look at those real quick. First, the storage radishes. These things are really finicky about when you plant them to get them to size up in time. They need a lot of time to actually grow. They are just starting to push. There's one right there. That's a black Nero. And then we've got the watermelon radishes. Ooh yeah, they're starting to size up nicely. They really like the cool nights before they actually size up. They'll actually get a green hue on the outside when they're ready for harvest. Still more, just going. Ends of the rows are always a little bit more sparse. And then we've got our 3 daikons. These are actually 2 beds here. So we have, this would be your walk path right here. What I did is separate it into 3 beds, 3 rows each of daikons. We got a purple, we got a red, and then we got a white. I'm hoping that'll make a really nice mix and maybe even a good noodle experience. These purples, the plants look completely different. And they are just starting to size up here. There's a few there, there's a few there. The purples, they're a little bit slower. They're just barely starting to size up. And then our whites over here, which, or no, these are our reds over here. They are just starting to go. Biggest problem I've had out here this year, that little booger right there. That is a harlequin beetle. And that's what all these little white spots on the leaves are. It's where they're sucking the sap out of it. That's the one good thing about this time of year. Insect pressure does not go away, but it becomes much less because it's colder and they're lazier when it's cold. I've tried to defeat them. They've been a huge problem, and currently they are pretty much winning. But it is what it is. Hope I don't have them next year. A lot windier out here. Plot 6 is still kicking. Got a good amount of leaf lettuce there. That's at least 2 to 3 weeks worth because it'll keep regrowing. Got more down at the end. I've been harvesting on it. Beets right here. They're doing awesome. I'm super excited about those. They've sized up nicely. I'll turn you around here in a second here. These beets are sizing up very nicely. I mean, you know the size of those already. The red ones, quicker. Chayacoga, they're about baseball size. They're just starting to really get going. Right down there. Very hard to see. And then our golden beets. And it looks like they are, well, that's a red one there, but it looks like the golden ones are finally starting to actually pop. Starting to get some sizing on them. Really nice. We're going to come over to our Hockerite turnips. They got planted way too thick. I had the wrong damn roller on there. Supposed to use the YYJ24. I believe I planted these with the X24. So there are just way too many turnips in here. I'm just hoping right now that they're going to size up for me, but we will see. They are starting to bulb up a little. There's a little right there too. So we'll see. Things happen on the farm. You know, I'll get them or I won't get them. That's pretty much the way it goes. And we're still kicking on our beautiful leaf lettuce. Does dramatically slow down this time of year, but you see much less drop like this right here in it. And come to find out, this white landscape fabric I have them on, it's actually pretty awesome. I didn't think it did much of a difference, but I'm seeing a huge difference from what was actually planted on the black fabric over here I talked about in the last monthly update. Now, my bunching onions, still doing awesome. Those are a great thing to do. We do them in bunches, plant them out in bunches, pick them in bunches, wrap them in bunches. Simple as that. They go great. They'll sit here and wait on me no matter what happens. The peppers over here, dramatic size difference. We were getting like 3 to 4 inch round peppers. Now we're getting about 2 inch round peppers. Those are bell peppers. Those are doing great. The kale back here, decimated by the harlequin beetles, but it looks like they're kind of starting to rebound. I mean, I'm actually seeing some growth on them, which would be great because that other kale's not going anywhere anytime soon. Shishito peppers, probably the last pick on those, and we've stopped altogether on the Hungarian wax peppers. Very beautiful peppers when they start changing colors like this, but in our market, nobody likes them, so they're getting cut out. They're done with. They'll be never grown again. They're part of the Peppergate issue. I don't remember what I got, but they weren't supposed to be Hungarian wax peppers, and I wasn't supposed to have Shishitos either. That was a surprise as well. And real quick with our flower patch, still doing great, still getting nice beautiful bouquets off those. They've dramatically sized down in size, but they're still pushing. Next year, these will actually be in the front yard because I can't see them out here. And why grow a bunch of flowers if you can't see them? You gotta walk all the way out to the edge of the field to see them. All of our corn, it was a high protein, semi-sweet feed corn. Deer loved it. Didn't get a one. They even ate my glass gem popping corn. Finally, we're gonna head over to the new caterpillar tunnel we put up last week and show you what I've got going on in there. A bunch of experiments, pretty cool, and I hope they work. So we put this up last week, very quick, very easy. Already had all the bows put together. Went about 3 hours or so over 2 days. Got a bed of spinach behind us. We've got lizard and winter giant. Proven to be pretty good in the winter. Not very good germination rates. These stupid, there they are, XL minis, kind of suck inside of a tunnel. They're not meant to go as far. They should be closer together. They're just not meant to be in a, what is it, 12 or 14 foot wide caterpillar tunnel. The hanging meganet spinets, those are the way to go. Behind me here, green beans. I actually planted these, I don't know, 4 weeks ago. I planted them before the tunnel was up. Hoping to get a harvest off them. I got to keep this thing warm. That's going to be the most important part because they are very sensitive to very cold temperatures and frost. That leads me to the one behind me, which is also very sensitive to cold and frost. These are zucchinis. Latest I've ever planted them. Keep my insect net to keep the cucumber beetles off until they start to go away. I'm really debating on whether I'm going to throw my heater in here or the tomato house when it gets cold enough, just to keep nighttime temperatures above freezing to keep them kicking. Because I'm really interested to know if I can get zucchinis in basically mid-October, November. That should be where they should be finishing out at. Same thing with the green beans. That's where it really comes down to the things slowing down this time of year. It's supposed to be 45-day crops. These were all seeded and transplanted at the time of 45 days. That 45 days is most likely going to be closer to 60, if not even 90. If it does stretch into 90, we're really going to be pushing the envelope, and whether we get something or not, I have no clue. One way you can find out is to test in your region and try it for yourself. I try my best to make things as universal as possible. Because we are basically in the center of the United States, right outside Topeka, Kansas area, we're kind of in between everything. So we have winters, not super cold, very little snow, but they also do get super cold. And sometimes it happens, first frost, then 3 days later, first freeze, sometimes first freeze for a week, and everything in the field dies because nothing has a chance to harden off. The trick is hardening off this time of year. You want everything to experience the ups and downs in temperatures, builds up glycol in the system of the plants, basically antifreeze, and it helps things actually get through the winter. Got radishes here. Radishes get very finicky when they're planted this late. They really don't quite size up, and before you know it, they go pithy. So they're very finicky. Hopefully in the tunnel it'll do a little better, especially with the special treatment I'm gonna have to give these green beans and these zucchinis to find out. So, like I said, things really slowing down. Harvest rates really gone down. Much more peaceful time of the year to be farming. I truly enjoy doing it this time of year. This year it's completely different because of the month of 100-degree temperatures we had, and honestly I'm just kind of burnt out, worn out, and that's why I'm even doing the video now instead of like I usually do earlier in the week. I just couldn't get myself to do it, had time here and there, but instead I decided to relax. And after going through what we did this season, which everybody across the United States experienced, it's good to take some time to yourself, relax, recuperate. Don't push too hard in the winter. Get a break, because you're just going to go in, at least we do, start seeding in January, and then come March, we're going to start all over again. Do yourself a favor, take a break, enjoy your winter, enjoy your family, take some time off, go somewhere, see stuff, have fun, do all the things normal people do instead of just farming, 7 days a week for 16 hours a day. Relax and enjoy it. So, as always, hope y'all like what we saw today. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all. Have a good day.